Hi everyone. Welcome to Jameel Arts Center and this special edition of Conversations on Practice in collaboration with GPP Photo Week. This is our second time working together. Last year we were fortunate enough to do a panel on Saudi scene, which Hasneen Sultan participated in. So tonight's edition is featuring two of the photographers for the exhibition that's happening and opens tomorrow at 7 p.m. at Concrete. And I'll just briefly go over the two photographers' bios, and then we'll go into two presentations and a conversation, which we hope you'll all participate in. To my right, we have Heba Khalifa. He's a multimedia artist, painter, and photojournalist. After graduating from the Faculty of Fine Arts in Cairo with a bachelor's in set design, she studied at the High Institute of Art Critics. She uses photography as an essential part of her artistic projects, documenting, representing, and speaking about women's and gender issues. Her work has been exhibited in Egypt, Switzerland, Spain, Singapore, and China. She's also the founding member of the Shuf Collective. And we also have Mohamed Mahdy, who lives and works in Alexandria, Egypt. He's a documentary photographer and filmmaker whose work concentrates on buried and unseen communities in Egypt, as well as cultural and social issues. He has exhibited at the 25 Youth Salon and the Ministry of Culture, as well as Maine and New Mexico. He has exhibited twice with the Ian Perry Scholarship in London and also at Photoville in New York. He is the youngest ever speaker at the Dubai Forum in 2016, and in 2018 was named by the New York Times Lens blog as one of the 12 emerging photographers you should know. Thank you for both being here.
Thank you.
Heba, we'll start with you. If you could just talk to us about the project that's being exhibited here and give us a sense of your process.
Okay, I have 10 minutes. I make a project. It's a conceptual photo story about the relation between women and their body, and how this relation is thorny relationship. Like it's burden. Having a body, it's burden. When we are young, they told us you should behave like that because you are a woman. You shouldn't talk like that because you are a woman. You should marry now because you can have a children, or if you are late you cannot have. If you are divorced, you cannot go and come because you are a woman. If you are getting older, look to your face and take care about your body because you don't have time. So we're chasing about this idea of perfection body, and it's a big burden for me. When I was younger, I just dreamed that I won't lose this body because it's become a big burden of me and of my life. The idea started with a group of women on Facebook. I started to talk with them what I mean for them to being a woman. And they started to talk to me and told me stories and a lot about their life. And I asked them, okay, let's make a photo. And most of them like, no, we will not doing photo. We just speak with you. We are chatting. And I panicked because the purpose of this secret Facebook group that I have story and photos. So I started meet them one by one in my room, in house. And they start talk and open more. And their faces turn red. And I have tears and I feel like this is the moment I want to capture in this story. So I have quotes from them, and I build on these quotes these images. I dreamed with how I can make the feeling visual. I concern about making what inside outside. For me, I consider myself documenting feeling in this project. So, in those 20 image, like year and a half, thinking about this project for 6 months, and having this EDBB program, and for another 6 months, and it's a long time. And for me, for audience, when I present this work, and I am lucky that I can present them in a different places in the world. And all the time, I have tears in eyes, and I have lady, she said to me, I have a story too. And for me, I was like, yes, that's what I want. Like, in China, they don't speak English. I have two girls, like 15 years old, come to me, and they said, ask a translator to translate that to me. We want to thank you. You gave us voice. We have the same in our country. And nobody talk about that. Because about women and what happened to women, it's universal. In Tokyo, they try to make their eyes wider and make a lot of plastic surgery.
Surgeries.
And everywhere that women just try to fix something because they are wrong. They don't have the ideal shape. So everywhere I go, I have the same story, but with different version. So for me, I feel this project not just story about women in Arab region or something like that. It's universal, and it's a human too, because we are all the time think about what we will gonna do to be more beautiful, more alive, and everything tell us that we are not enough, and this is the problem because we are enough.
Heba, I want to ask you, why have you chosen to have all of the women wear the same clothing?
Okay, in the first, we are all talk about body, but body is a taboo. We cannot be close to it or seeing it. It's not allowed for us to see our body in the first place because it's a shame, it's a aib, it's a haram. Mm-hmm. So when I start think about this project, I'm also was afraid because in advertising they use the body of women to advertise something. Like, you should be like that and that. So for me, I like in between, like, I want to make this body, I can see it, but not using it.
Visible and invisible.
Yes. So I start think about this suit, because Karina suit in Egypt, of course, they use this Karina suit to just cover their hands so they can have something like that.
With their hijab.
Yes, with their hijab. And I find this suit in these two colors, the same color of body, and it was for me, it's amazing. Mm-hmm. Because you can feel with this suit this pressure, mm-hmm. the pressure of your body, pressure of your soul inside this body. Mm-hmm. And I ask myself, because somebody asked me, you use this suit because you cannot take nude. So I ask friends, can I take nude picture? And I start making nude to just challenge the idea. And with nude, you will feel freedom, beauty. And this is opposite that what I want to express. I want to express the opposite thing, mm-hmm. how it's pressuring you, how it's, yes. So I said, yes, I'm on the right road.
And going back to the Facebook group, what was the name of it? And sort of how did you get women to join this community with you to discuss all of these issues?
Okay. I have a lot of friends on my Facebook and a lot of group for women. Like they speak about everything, and I start just write. I try to make project about women and bodies. And do you think you wanted to participate? And they okay, add me, and I start add a lot of people. Actually, this 2 months conversation gave me a lot of idea, and I become sure that I want to do this project.
And how many women joined this?
And first it was 60, mm-hmm. and they refused. Most of them they refused to be photographed. Like, la, we will not. You will not take photo for us. We cannot imagine ourselves like that.
So 60 joined, and how many were photographed?
This is 20. This is 20 photo, but actually I photo like 30. Mm-hmm. And after I finished photo for some, they said we don't want to collaborate. Sorry, we cannot put this photo. Okay. Yes.
So they let you make the photograph.
Yes. Yes, yes, yeah. They just feel shy and feel they cannot be in something like this. It's too on red line. They don't want their relatives see this picture for them, something like that. And I feel like I cry, like no, I cannot take out this picture. But after a while, I feel this is the mean of this project somehow because I am try to do something with taboos and red lines, and it's not easy. Mm-hmm. It's not even easy about me because I am with these ladies. I make photo for myself, and it wasn't easy. Especially when you try to make a presentation in public and speak about yourself, about this weakness feeling, and with feeling, it's always not easy. And I make the feeling naked, and it's not usual, and it need a lot of courage. And with this lady, I'd like to thank them because they give me this space to make them express themselves. If I don't have courage women like this, I cannot ever never make a project like this. So,
and have they all seen these images?
Of course, they seen them. They seen what I will write about it, and they admit it before I can publish it.
Okay. And have you ever had an example where it was published and then a woman said, "Actually, I don't feel comfortable anymore"?
Actually, they tell me that they don't comfortable if I use it like. If I make advertising about exhibition, I don't use the picture of faces because they are shy from this, so I respect them. I actually all the time I tell this project is collaborate between me and them, so it's belong to them. I ask them if I publish a book. I ask them because it's real life.
It's their life, and you respect their stories. Okay, great. We're going to keep people thinking and move on to Mahdy.
Okay. Hello, everyone. First of all, I'm really excited to be here along the way from Egypt. The project I'm showing today is called Moon Dust. It's about a residential area in my neighborhood, Alexandria, just like 10 minutes from my home. And this area is inhabited by 6,000 people, and it's surrounded by 4 factories: cement factory and gas factory, salt factory and petrol factory. And actually the area is just 10 meters from the cement factory, and the factory till now working with coal and garbage. So this increase what's happening for people starting to have asthma, lung cancer, and start to die, especially the children. So my project basically was like documenting those people's story and how they suffer from the dust and the coal and the garbage actually.
Would you like to show a couple of the images and then talk more about it?
It's running actually. So this is the block, as you can see. The factory is just 10 meters away. So. This is Abdul Rahman. The doctor told him that you are gonna die within just 6 months. Because asthma is developed with time. I have asthma, but I'm not living in an area with like dust and coal and garbage, so it doesn't like affect me a lot like them. This is Mustafa. He lost his smell. If he doesn't see the food, he doesn't know what he is eating actually. Most of the time, when I enter a house, they cover all the windows. They can't see the light actually, because like I remember Ola told me I told Ola to leave the window open for just half an hour and look like 1 inch from dust and cement. She was like, she told me like the previous picture, she's covering her house with like sticker like Tom and Jerry because she wants to see her house like beautiful like other houses. But unfortunately, because the factory is near to the houses, so the vibration from the oven is like making those cracks into the walls, and sometimes like the roofs are fell on them. So she was telling me like with every new crack, I put a new sticker. Yeah.
How did you first get access into these people's homes?
First of all, I was doing. I have a friend living in this area, and he was telling me like a lot of people are dying, but I didn't know why they are dying. So I was passing from this way every morning for my college, and I don't know. Just one day I decided to go in. I saw a post about a child who just died, and he's just 10 years old. So I entered and started to hear a story from someone.
You just knocked on the door.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it like a family took me to another family, and yeah, this project took me like 2 years, and 6 months I was by myself, and I was lucky to get the ADPP grant with Magnum Foundation and the Prince Claus, and I was lucky actually to meet Jessica Morai and my crazy mentor Tanya. I'm really happy she's here. Yeah, she's the crazy, and also Peter and Eric and those people and Randa. Those people like helping me like to be myself more, you know, not have to prove anything for anyone, just work what you feel, you know. And yeah, I got 1 year to finish the project. Yeah.
And how long did it take for you to sort of start that project and actually turn it into a photography project? First, you met the families, right?
Yeah. Actually, like the research most of the time took the whole time, you know, because like I prefer to live with people first. I feel like this is a way like to know them more, and they know you like. And I know myself, I'm really honest about like my feelings for them. It's like you are making a new bond with a friend, and this bond is really like you see this bond in your pictures with time, you know, because now they are my friends, you know, they are part of me. That's it. Like I'm spending time, and actually I'm carrying my camera all the time with me, and sometimes I see something happen, so I take a picture for it. Yeah.
And how many families did you meet during your process?
I didn't count them, but a lot, you know. Most of them I didn't take a picture for them.
Okay.
But a lot of families, yeah.
So there were interviews, and then did you have specific moments when you had photo shoots with them, or mid-conversation?
No, just like sometimes they call me like to attend the wedding, sometimes like they need me like to bring something, sometimes we go to do something together, and like I feel like the picture is I don't know, it pop up in front of you like sometimes, yeah. And sometimes I'm trying to be smart about it. I know that they are doing a briefing session at this time, so I'm trying to exist as much as I could, yeah.
Okay. And did you find it difficult to photograph any of the families? Did you sort of feel like you were intruding on their personal space?
Actually, my relation with those families is really good, but sometimes like your feelings became like interrupt, you know, like why you are shooting this, you know, and at the same time you tell yourself because you need to show other people what's really happening. So there's a families like I didn't show the pictures because like I felt like they need me to show the picture, but I felt like no, it doesn't like I don't want to show the picture like and they are lying and it feels like they are dead and stuff like this. So sometimes it's really hard, you know.
Is there a picture in the collection here that you thought very hard about showing?
No, I think those picture is not. It's sometimes it's hard, but it's also like it feels like it's a nice picture. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, which brings me to a question for both of you. Who's your audience?
Okay, you go. Ladies first.
For me, when I start doing this project, I have this idea. Like when I was teenager, if I find project like this, people talk about their feelings, I will not feel I am alone in these feelings. I will feel I can share people. They have the same. So when I start doing this, I think about it. I think about it might help girls or ladies or even families to understand what happened and encourage them to speak about what happened in their feeling. For me, main audience is women actually, but it's also for everybody if he have this idea or these issues about what he want to understand what happened.
Has your work spoken to a man who said, wow, I'm changing my perspective on something, thank you for this?
Yes, actually, I have a videographer come to Beirut to take footage for me, and he is so young, and he didn't have a hair. And he just listened to me speak about body and what happened, and what society judged us to have the perfect body. And he said yes, and his eyes and he can feel it because he has the same pressure to be more ideal and to try to think about himself like he need more hair, he need to be like the ideal model. So I felt it changed something in him.
So you could empathize with
Yes.
I don't know, it's a hard question, but when I think about it, sometimes I say everyone, because I believe in people. I believe like photography is about, for me, it's about to remember and make other people remember. So somehow I still believe in people, and I believe that they can and capable of doing a lot of things. So I see like my photography is about to make people connect to each other, and that's what I actually tried to do in my exhibition, to bring the communities together in Egypt. So I thought about the exhibition. Actually, I found a lot of people helping me. I didn't do this alone. Like I asked Marwa from Photopia, it's a photography school in Egypt. I need a place, and she introduced me to a woman called Mushira. And Mushira told me, what do you need to do? I told her about the idea. She told me, okay, we're gonna give you this place for free. So they gave me a place, and I asked someone, he gave me the money to print. Another one like helped me to frame the picture. Another curator helped me to curate the exhibition for free. And also Samir also like helped me to curate the exhibition and to do the mock-up. And after this part, like I thought, like why not engaging the other community? I invited the people from Wadi al-Qamar to participate and to speak, with the journalists. And I also invited journalists and businessmen, artists, as much as I could. And actually it was like, I was quite happy because I didn't expect like a lot of people attending under like one roof. And they're starting to engage with each other. And some people were saying like, is this really happening? So it was like remembering them, the people who are lost in the modern life, that there is other people can live as humans. And actually I was surprised because people are supporting those people by buying prints and give all the profits to them. And actually, like after the journalists like speak about this issue in Egypt after the exhibition, I found like 3 months ago the exhibition now putting filters. So
the factory started.
The factory
it's great.
is putting filters for the dust,
It's great.
So are the conditions improving in their homes now?
Yeah, I don't know if this is because of me or not, but now I believe I do not have to do the change, but maybe I'm a small part of it. I'm just pushing like our open a conversation again in Egypt. It's really hard because like I don't want to talk about our government, but it's I still believe in people. Yeah.
So both of you have this sort of activist slant in the work that you do, and we're seeing sort of the micro changes happening as a result of the conversation you started. Where do you see these changes going? Both of you keep pushing the line further and further, but what would be your ultimate goal in these conversations that you both started?
Actually, for me, I see changes during making this project. Like, I have two ladies. In the first, they said to me, "No, you shouldn't. We shouldn't make our face appear in this photo. We couldn't." I said, "Okay." And after a while, they just said to me, "No, we will show a face and we will say a statement, and what happened will happen." And I have another girl. She was having issues with wearing a veil and have a big fight with her father about this veil. And after 3 years from this project, she called me and screaming in phone, "Heba, I did it. And for me it was, oh my God. And she took it off and she just took to me because she cannot believe. She dreamed in this photo to do that.
To remove her hijab.
Yes. I'm not against hijab. I against that you should do something you didn't like. And you should do what you like. It's your body. It's your life. So I see that. I see this change in them. I see when this project lately they presented in Mada Masr on Facebook. A lot of people see it. I have like a letter from people I didn't know them. Small girls especially said to me, "Thank you. We can define ourselves in this story." And for me, I'm proud. Like, it is what I want. I want to make a conversation through art, and let people tell stories. For me, tell story is a healing process. And art, it's I heal myself in the first. Like they know me. Heba, when she started doing this project, not this girl, It's a big difference. It's a huge. Because I diving deep and I make like, I have a depression. I have a lot of bad thoughts. I have a lot of hope too. It changed me in the first. I am that change. and them, I swear, you know that. Because when you give yourself courage to tell all your story, it makes the load go out. You are more lighter because you can tell what happened and you can face it. So it's not have the same on you. You can tell it, you can face it, you can deal with it. That's what I want. Just
thank you for empowering others and empowering yourself. Mahdy, do you have any additional sort of anecdotes or stories? It's a hard act to follow.
I don't know actually, but I don't believe in future somehow. Just like I feel it's a fixing. I feel like future is now in the present. What we are doing now. Because when I did the project, I don't know, I just do something I really love, and I found people support me. And after I finished it, it gone everywhere. And after that, I wanted to do an exhibition, so I did the best I could do, and I found people support me, and like the factory now is putting these photos. So I don't know actually what's going to happen in the future, but what I know is like I'm doing everything I could now and leave this like to reveal for like this time. That's it, yeah.
And you've done also projects with the limestone quarry workers and sort of everyday life images in Egypt. How did you get attached to those topics prior to this one? I understand that the health was a concern for the concrete workers, but what about the limestone quarry workers previously?
I don't know, how did you reach this project?
The internet has everything.
You did really research. It's really an old project, but I don't know, my start was as a street photographer. I was exploring a lot of communities. And I'm really passionate towards people, and I feel like this is the most important things to show to people, other stories, other humans, And I feel that Allah gave me the gift that to make people connect to each other, and that's what I'm trying to do through my photography, because I hear your story, but I can show it to another hundred of people, and that's what I'm trying to do, actually. Nothing more there.
And how do you continue to educate yourselves to be better photographers?
2 years ago, I started to invest more in books. I just started to have some money, so I started to read more. And I'm studying now arts and design in media department, like sound design, video editing, and those also helping me to improve my vision. And now I feel like also the stories of people are the most inspiring thing for me. Because imagine if you have the story of your life, but you are really passionate about hearing other people's stories. So you have millions of stories. And if you can have a sense of what they are feeling, so it's a great thing also to share them the story and to think about it. So they are inspiring. They are enough also. Yeah.
Heba, what are you doing?
For me,
aside from ADPP.
Yes. Actually, for me, I try to digging more. I discover that I try to express, when I try to express myself more, I can express people feelings more. So I take more time. I work slowly, and I take more time, and I use writing. I use more things like writing and art, drawing, and I try to break the border between photos and art, and I will use everything I can do to express myself. That's, for me, it's new, because when I finish this project and I try to make something new, like collective and collage and photo and drawing, I feel shaky, oh my God, but I'm a photographer. Everybody know me as a photographer. Now I will jump to something else and nobody will appreciate this. And suddenly I hear this voice, Heba, it's about courage. Courage, what makes it worse? So you should keep it with you and move on, and keep courage and express what you feel.
But you're a painter and a multimedia artist as well. So if you're not labeling yourself as a photographer or a painter or a multimedia artist, and you're mixing them all together, how does your perspective change on the way you do your work or your practice?
change a lot. Like you now I go to like when I go to museum, when I go to Lonju photo festival, when I come here and see this perfect thing, I start realize how people deal with idea from different perspectives, and see it and try to express themselves more in it, and what they related this idea related to them or not. Yani now it's different. It's not like before. Like you can have a small idea and express it in 100 ways, and I try to discover my way. You know, I have a story. The first time I travel out of Cairo, I go to Vienna. And I was taught in college that Van Gogh, color of Van Gogh is the color. It is the color. Nobody done like him, and if I want to do color, I should do like Van Gogh. And I go to Vienna, and I see this color in sky, and in the green, I can see it in land. And I surprised. He just paint what he see. Please tell us this. It's a different story. If I see he express himself, what he see really in here environment, it's something else. If I know that, so I will think about myself. Okay, Heba, what do you see? I think we should start thinking in this way, like,
and using the tools that you have.
So
let's take it back, Mahdy. When was the first time you picked up a camera? At your ripe old age of...
Age is just a number. She's making it because I'm 22. I get it. I started photography since I was 14. Okay. Yeah. I was as a street photographer. Then I started to go like into storytelling. Actually, my first educated thing in photography was through the ADB program. This was my first workshop and everything. Yeah.
And was that with a camera, a film camera, and a phone?
No, I started with a small camera. It's called Canon.
Point and shoot?
Yeah, point and shoot.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was exploring. Actually, I was I was running from the school to go and take pictures. Yeah, it was great because street teach you a lot of things.
You were skipping school to take pictures.
Yeah. But do not tell my mom. Actually, street photography teach me a lot of things, how to deal with people, and different situations, especially in Egypt, if they saw you with a camera, you are a spy,
Yes.
Yeah, they didn't understand
what
anything
you
else. Yeah, you are a spy.
So does this kind of camera you use in Egypt sort of get affected by the fact that you have to be secretive so that you don't attract too much attention, or?
It's depend on how you deal with Egyptian street. Like for me, I started to study NLP. It's how our brain works, and also body language to start to deal with people. So sometimes I remember a situation. I was shooting someone. Okay, he was just a decent man, and he was like a fruit shop, and I just stand in front of him and take a picture and just ran away. He just walk. Then he after 5 seconds he told me, what you did. He calling me from far away. I told him I took a picture for you, and he told me why. I told him because you are beautiful. He told me because I'm beautiful. And why you take the picture? I showed him the picture. Told him because the contrast is really great, and the shadows and the highlight. And I told him this is English. So he thought I'm crazy, and this is a good thing. He told me take another picture for me. So it's about how you deal actually with people.
They have it a lot in the streets.
And Heba?
For me, when we are young. I didn't have a picture. I just have a picture when I go to school, and I'm pictured for school. But as a family, we didn't have a picture. Yes, we didn't have any picture. But my grandma and they have 1,000 picture, 1,000 old picture. I find it in my house, but not for us. So I find the camera Yashka camera. It's my dad bring it from traveling or something, and nobody use it, and I find it. So I start have a film, and I start taking picture for us. I start taking picture for me.
Color or black and white?
Black and white and the color, and for me okay, now I have a picture. I have a picture in this house. I have for me okay, it's and I was in college in this time in fine art college. So I start to work with photos, and I start to cut it and I try to drawing on it and something like that, and stuff like that. And after a while, I have this job with Randa Shaat, and I own her because she taught me everything about how to be professional taking photo, and helped me a lot. She's a friend and teacher too, and I like have 10 years like photojournalist, and being in the street taught me a lot about people and their lives, and I can go to homes and speak and laugh, and it's something else. Yani, you know, if you are just an artist, you are thinking about people but with yourself. But this opportunity for me with being a photojournalist gave me this idea about the street, because I was like shy person, have the camera and ask, can I take photo? And they said no, and and I felt like, okay.
You had to do it, right?
Yeah.
You had to bring
It was your job.
Yes. So I come again and again, and she said, Heba, go again. And for me, like, I was freak and turned red, and but I thought a lot from streets and from dealing with people, and what people live it, and what homes they have, and what my home look like compared to them. I discover I live among we have the same thing. Like I see my mom everywhere. Like oh my God, they repeated something like that. I discover more and more about the street and about people and about me too.
And actually, there is a serious problem with our like people. You know, we call them in Egypt like people of honor, because when they saw you like holding camera, all of them like feels like they discover the most famous spy in the whole world, as they came to you like a secret agent and tell you what are you doing, you know. And like when I used to be young, okay.
You used to be young.
Yeah.
Okay, you are so young.
Yesterday.
No, but when I used to be young, I was like explaining for them like I'm an artist, you know, I'm doing like an art. But now, like if someone hold me and told me, what are you doing? I grab him from his hand and tell him to go to the police station. Let's save some time. And he just like, okay, no. Okay, go do what you want to do. It's like, yeah.
So which brings me to my last question before we open it up. How do you get the subject to be or act or sort of reflect the idea you're trying to capture in front of the lens?
Actually, it's a good question, and it's the hardest thing. Because you have an idea, and you just want to be so lucky to have this idea come from from the subject the same. And I actually from in this project, I open up. I start to open up my heart.
So you pour your heart out so that they pour theirs back to you.
I open this space and I tell my story with honesty, with my feelings, with my anger, everything. I tell her, this is my feeling, and this is what I try to do. I want to do this and this and this. What do you think? So they start telling me a story. We end up with another one. Actually, it is like that. Like I have this very, very fat lady, and in my mind we will make photo story about having very big shape or something like that. And it end up speaking about her father and relationship with her father, and he see her beautiful, and now he is gone away, and she is not feel that she is beautiful anymore. And I said, yes, this is more good than what I want, like, because it's something with soul and feeling, and I feel lucky because it somehow it's become more.
You create a deep bond.
Yeah. So, but you need space. Yeah. I feel you need space in your soul if you want to make something about that, or if you will deal with feeling. It's not easy. And people, I have girls start to cry and collapsing, and I feel, oh my God, what I will do? Yani, I am not a psychologist. Yani, I cannot fix if something happened. But it surprised me.
Mahdy, what's your secret?
No, I think I said this before, that I'm trying to live with people as much as I could, you know. it's good like to feel what other people feel, but if you experience a little bit from it, it just like you translate this in your work. And that's how I'm trying to make people engage with my work. Like there is a thing I forgot to mention. There is a picture here I didn't take. It's from the factory. Like I teach someone working in the factory because I couldn't like enter, and he took this picture from me. I teach him how to take picture, and he was really happy with this. And I feel like there is a great photographer who always like give a cameras to the people who are like engaging with them in their stories and tells them like shoot what you feel. And I feel like this is bring like more truth to your project, to the story. And I'm always asking myself this question, like why are you doing this? It's always why.
It's important.
Yeah, why are you doing this? Because if I didn't answer this question, I know that I'm not truth about what I'm doing. But if I get like a decent answer, so I feel like I'm gonna go on this project. Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
With that, we'll open it up to the audience. We can always count on you, Tanya. There's a mic.
Don't want to let you down. Heba, Habibti, just to see how much you've grown, just even the way you're presenting the work. I haven't seen you in a couple of years. Yes. I remember the first time you showed the completed work, I was so stunned I cried, because you also went deep into the behind-the-scenes stories of each woman's character. And you influenced me and work I've done afterwards, because I really feel you had an element of therapy, in sitting and letting the woman tell their stories and then reflecting on their words and then creating the photograph afterwards. Really, it was so innovative. And I'm just wondering, because the text, the stories, the pictures are stunning, but when you have these little vignettes of the stories, it goes on a whole other realm. Yeah. Have you found a way yet to reconcile, to bring these two together? A book, what form? Where can we, I want the words and the images, where can I find them? Just an easy question for you.
Yeah. Okay. No, I have my microphone. Actually, idea of making a book with all of this. I have a small book from Photopia. Like you will find the photo and the caption. For me, it's not enough. It's not what I want to do. If I will do a book, I want to make my copy of book with my hand, everything with every details, because I have 1,000 picture. For this 20 photo, I have 1,000 picture, like for details, and I have from them, they told more. So if I wanted to do book for this, I wanted to do it manual, on my hand, and after this, maybe somebody will print it or something like that. But I don't have this chance. I need time. I need money to do this. Like you need space to put them together, and in a new way of thinking. I will not repeat, that, but you can bring the soul of this in a book, so you can feel them more, and maybe they can write something more about what happened to them when they see this picture. Because it happened a lot, a lot of them, they don't want to talk about it. Or they are very, very, like I have the girl who with this crew, she put this photo, like Facebook photo for her. Yes, and she was proud of and for me, like, oh my God, okay. It's great, like. So I'd love to do that, Tanya.
Did you record any audio?
Actually, I didn't record because they refuse. Yeah. I try to give them safe space. Mm-hmm. Safe space in projects like this, it's a very important thing. Like they can told everything and
you wrote everything.
Yeah.
Down.
Yes.
You spoke to issues women anywhere in the world would relate to.
And for me, I surprise myself. I like surprised when I go and make this presentation in a different country and I see ladies and women have the same. I look and say to me, we have story too. It's universal.
And it's like I almost could see you, because you did it in your one space, your apartment that you share with your daughter.
Yep.
You have a full-time job.
Yes. I have one day.
And the studio itself is your apartment with your daughter. And I can almost picture you going around.
And I cook and take picture and speak and do million things in the same time.
There's a lot of healing that could be done around the world. Like you could almost go transnational and do this healing approach. But anyway, Mabruk, congratulations. It's amazing.
I love you, Tanya.
Thank you. My question is for Mahdy. I just wondered about kind of the investigation that you did in that project, and if you thought about interviewing any of the people that work for the factory or around the factory. Why or why not?
I did, actually. The guy who took the picture from the top of the factory, he did this, he took it. And when I asked him, most of the people who are working in the factory doesn't, satisfied about this, but they need money. The economic situation in Egypt is not good, and they need money. So they are working there, this is the only way. Is this answer your question somehow? Yeah.
You're making a film now?
Yeah, I'm now doing a big documentary movie.
On the same...
Yeah, in the same area, yeah. But it didn't, I didn't finish it, yes.
It takes me time.
Yeah, no, but you are making, there's going to be,
yes.
There's a stage 2 to this whole project.
Yeah, it's a long-term documentary project for me, and I felt like a movie to hear the people's voice and to see actually a video is going to be much stronger than watching pictures, for me,
And my understanding also with this project is you've done a lot of investigation and there's a lot of documentation about, because it is about zoning, it's a residential area, there is a factory in the residential area.
Yes.
So you have all of this, you've gone into the archives, you've looked at the documents.
Yes, I just speak today about a little bit from the project, but also this area is presented or existed since the King Farouk, 70 years ago. And the factory was saying we are here before people. So part of my investigation was to find a historical document since or dating back to King Farouk. I found a document since 1927, and the factory opened in 1948. So this is proof that those people were here before the factory. And I also found a government map showed the area, but the factory doesn't exist. But I couldn't publish this, and this is something I learned in the program, because you can't publish a government, because they're gonna ask you how did you reach this, and you do not want to to get through this way with the government, and this is not my purpose, from the project. I need just to help those people or just to make their stories heard. So yeah, it was a lot of research, and just I feel the picture is just from every project just the 10%, and the research is the most powerful thing. Yeah.
And this is what's amazing about the program.
Yeah.
That they have amazing mentorship.
Yes.
Because you think you are not alone in this project, because somehow you can lose your way or feel you fucked up. I will not complete. But you can you find people help you and give you advice and understand the way you think about your project, and they try to help you and give you advice. And for me, this is the big benefits of this program, that I have mentorship. It's new, and it's not usual in Arab world in photography to have something to teach you how to build a photo story or how to build a long-term project. So it was amazing opportunity.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry. And there are also some things they teach you, it's not about the good picture you take, just you do not have to prove anything for anyone, it's just about the research and how to tell your story, It's all about this, not just taking a good picture or an amazing picture. Yeah, that's it.
Aside from your mentors, have you discovered photographers that you aspire to be like, or that have influenced your practices or you're learning from at the moment?
Yes. Yeah, I remember there were a day in the program where we were each one presenting his project, and all the mentor was sitting telling us, you have to see this project, and they write the project for you. Oh, this project is almost like your project, you have to see this. And it was actually good to see how other photographers did stories talking about the same issue. It was really helping, actually, yeah. each one like this, each one like something related to his story or his thinking, something like, yeah.
For me, I love Raida Saada. I love her. She uses her body, she uses her life, she uses things, and she make something very powerful. For me, like, oh my God, how I can do something around this or like this or something. And it's big part of doing any project that you should make a good search about what people did about it before you. Because if you didn't do that, maybe you can making photo and ideas jump to you from internet, from anything, and suddenly it's not original.
Yes.
And it's a big problem. So I just, on computer, on internet, I just try to make search who makes something about body before, and it's a lot. هنا حطوهم شيرين نشأت رائدة سعادة and outside in America a lot of I don't have the name, but I make like 3 or 4 weeks. I try to discover everything happened about this, because when I go into it, I want to express myself, not repeat something by just mistake or from memory.
Yeah, I'm just wondering.
Just a second, the mic's coming around.
I'm just wondering about how you resolve your own boundaries in your work. Are there places that you would have actually liked to take your work, and that you have an internal struggle about, I can't do that, or I would like to do that? You know, how far, whether there's sensitivity issues or political issues, how far do you actually feel that you want to take it and push that, and where do you actually sort of draw a line in the sand and say, okay, I'm going to stand back from that and I'm not going to go in that direction?
For me?
For both of you, I think, yeah.
As far as I can go. Really, I push my luck. This is my way. Like, I deal with issues. It's heavy on me too. Like feeling and all the stories and how the story turn you and making your life change. I try to go as far as I can, but without pushing people too much. To have my photo, I can do that. Like I have a photo. It was a good one. I like it. It was like a lady, and she is in taking a shower of silk wire, and she have a heart in like hard, very hard and wire, and she is just write a statement. She is not feel satisfying sex. She feels detached from her soul and her body, and for me it was so much strong. And after she writes a statement by her hand. She said to me, "I am the only one who told you that." I said, "No, baby. A lot of people have the same, but they don't told me." After I send photo to Magnum Foundation, and they put it on website. The first day, she writes me an email. "Heba, my life in danger. My family identify me. My sister started to asking, and I am not married. What we will do? Please write to take it out." And I write. You remember this? I write this email with my heart beating, and they take it out immediately, actually. And after that, I started crying, because for me it's a piece, like my baby, yani. But after a while, it is collaborate with my idea. I really go to some point. It's deep and it's a danger, and it is meaning something. If she need to take it off, like it is something. You know that. So all the time I try to push my luck, but with I try to make them like I respect them. I can do the photo, and they said no. It's me no, and this is what I told them in the first. It's your life. It's your privacy. If you didn't like what come out, you have all right to refuse. And this is what gives me a lot of story and makes them open up, because they trust me. And this is very important. If you are a photographer, you build this trust between you and subject. Otherwise, you will have nothing.
can you translate the first part because I didn't get it most of it or I didn't hear it?
Yeah, I was just asking about your boundaries. You know, obviously you're dealing with subjects which are quite politically sensitive as well. Are there directions that you would quite like to have gone in the project, or for reasons of sensitivity that you've pulled back, or reasons of political nature that you've pulled back? Where do you actually find the boundary in your work, and how comfortable are you with approaching it or going beyond it, or you know?
I think we never be satisfied, you know. And for me, like when I was like doing my project, I was like a fly on the wall, you know. I was in everywhere, like trying to discover this. I'm seeing with the doctors, I'm seeing with different people, I'm seeing with the people from the factory, and I'm gathering a lot of information as much as I could, you know. And the magic happened when you are like in the editing process. Actually, this is the magic because you can't tell everything, but it's like a movie, you know. You have to bring like a scenes together or the shots to make a big scene, you know. And that's what happened, you know. Just I didn't tell everything because not because it's not important, but because like you need to get to the point. You need to tell people or show people what's happening in a few pictures actually. And I don't know. I feel like there is no boundaries, but I felt satisfied when I felt like my project is talking about a social issue and also about people's dreams and intimate story I found, you know. I felt like, yeah, this is a really intimate story I need to show to people also. It's like, I don't know, but for me, I never satisfied. I feel like I didn't do anything in this project, to be honest. I feel like I need to work more. And with time, like, you develop and your mind change and you need to go back and do more stuff and more things. Yeah. So I remember just one day I was talking with Tanya. I told her I'm not satisfied, you know. She told me it's okay. And every time I'm working on a new project, I feel like I'm jumping into a cold water, you know. Just yeah, it's normal, you know. And I feel like these feelings, it's what makes you like always want to work, want to make a new thing, want to try a new thing. So I don't know. It's a tough question, actually. Yeah.
It's not meant to be an easy question.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mahdy. Yeah. Thank you, Heba, for sharing with us. As I mentioned, the shortest distance opens tomorrow at 7 o'clock. We're so lucky to have 2 of the 7 photographers. Pardon? One more question. Okay,
of course, Tanya, you can have 5 questions.
Mahdy, you have your character as you're sitting here. It's very clear how you get access, even though the story was people were paranoid, people were afraid to talk about things, and it's perhaps never been a harder time to be an investigative journalist, let alone a photographer. There's photographers, as you know, in jail right now in Egypt for far less investigations than that, for just genuine street photography. Okay. So on the one hand, I see how you get access and the community is involved because you're very respectful and you get people involved in their stories. But how are you reconciling at a very dangerous time, unfortunately, to be doing investigative work? How are you protecting yourself? And at the same time, there's a whole growth right now of unbelievable social documentary photographers that are tackling some difficult subjects. Are you banding together? Like, do you feel safe to continue to do investigative work? You've been lucky, alhamdulillah, with this one. Loaded question, but there you go.
Look, there is a way, like, I'm working, like, I go to a family and spend time with them, or I live with them, and I make them introduce me to their neighborhood. So in this way, like, I'm making, like, a family next to a family. So, like, with time, I became, like, a famous, but no one know what I'm doing because it's always a secret between me and the families. Somehow, I don't know, they believe in me, I believe in them, and it's like a secret between us. I don't carry a big camera, just a small camera always with me because I don't care about the tool, actually. I don't know, I don't know. Just like I feel like if something written to happen for me, it's gonna happen, you know. And just like if I started to feel fear, I won't do anything. So I don't know, to be honest. You know, just like I jump, you know. Just I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough question. What?
No, that's a great answer.
And also they see me as a young, this is also saying the same. So yeah, and if I'm in the street and I'm shooting something, if someone asks me what are you shooting, I tell him like the ground is really beautiful or like the tree is really beautiful. So he thought like you are crazy. I told him I'm studying art, so yeah, so they let me someone like this is too many once time.
Great. So there will be guided tours with the photographers, so check the GPP website so that you can follow the narrative. The slides don't do the work justice if you don't see the captions and hear it in their own voices. It'll be on until Saturday, February 9th, which is also the last day of the Artist Room exhibitions here at Jameel Arts Center. So I encourage you to use the last 30 minutes of the evening to have a look if you haven't already had the chance.
It's amazing. Yes, I love it. I love it.
And for those of us that love photography books, the shop here also has curated a set of books that we think may be of interest to some of you. So please get to know us in the center, and we'll see you during the rest of the week. Have a good night.